So we start our class with IFT, Intermodal Freight Transportation. So in the last class, actually, we discussed about some concepts, some definitions, and how we marched our way forward with the case of freight transportation. So in this class, we discuss about the technological as well as economic characteristics of different modes, like maybe road transport, railway transport, and air transport. Okay, so that is the way that we dealing with the intermodal transportation. So this is especially for you, my dear students and young researchers, and you can reach me at dr.christoananth@gmail.com. So before beginning the session, let me thank God for giving me this opportunity to share this useful session about the knowledge with the fellow national, international participants, students, and young researchers. So in this class, we discuss about the economic importance of transportation. Then we discuss about the high density transport infrastructure, about the highly collaborated, highly connected networks. Then what are the factors behind the development of transportation systems? What are the economic impacts? How we categorize the transport according to the real scenario? What is the economic importance? For example, you use several transport, maybe how cheap you can reach a particular place, what are the efficient means to transfer, that we will be discussing. Then about the basic factors based on the location, the socio-economic benefits, and about the value added services and the employment effects of these transportation services. Then we discuss about the economic impacts. Just like economic importance, we have economic impacts. Then about the transportation and economic opportunities. What are the opportunities in this logistics field that we'll be discussing? Okay. So I've already given assignment 2 for you. So please go through them. Please submit them at your best available time. As I am reminding you once again, there will be 5 independent works. Okay. So those students who haven't joined, please join the Telegram group first of all. Then you join the Google Classroom. Okay. There you will be finding 5 independent works or assignment works. Okay. So at regular intervals, I will be giving you some short videos to discuss the knowledge in our topics. Right. Fine. So if you take in the case of a word called as development, you meet something social, you meet something discount in terms of money, maybe, okay, and also the political conditions also. So everything matters. We are living in a country very peaceful, we are very social. We are, if we are politically controlled by some others, then development will not happen. Suppose if we are spending money, if we are able to achieve, or maybe if we are able to purchase whatever for our living, then definitely there will be a major scope for development even. Okay. So there has been the outcomes, if you can see in anywhere, the outcomes you can see, the learning outcomes you can see, it is mostly based on this qualitative and the quantitative improvements even. So qualitatively also there should be improvement, there should be like income as well as education levels also should be improved. Also the transportation, the technology, the telecommunication field, everything there should be an improvement. So that is what they say, there should be both the qualitative and quantitative improvement. Okay. So whenever you are dealing with assets, whenever you are dealing with capitals, there should be a proper balance. There should be balance in these issues. So maybe the assets you can see like physical capital, okay, all the commodities, the purchases, the items, everything there should be a balance, and it should be aligned with the government policies even. Okay. So economic activities cannot take place if there is no proper standard, if there is no proper regulation, no proper infrastructure, okay, to carry further. Okay. So this is the most economic importance of the transportation that we will take forward. Okay. So if you can say like physical capital, human capital or labor, or maybe land, or maybe natural resources, everything will be aggregating, everything will be summing up to form a production function, and from that it is contributing to the GDP, okay, gross domestic product. For example, if you take in the case of this country, the GDP is very, very low. For example, if you take in the case of GDP of China or maybe USA, the GDP is very much high. So all these factors play a vital role. Whether you belong to a kingship or democracy, whether political factors are affecting or not affecting, whether the commodities that you get are cheaper in this country compared to other countries, that is also very important. Even I can also compare the commodities we get over here are costly, even though the economic factors are not that high, but the price is also high. Okay, so it is all about these factors. So physical and human capital needs play a vital role in this relationship, and you should have a proper managerial expertise even, and also there should be well layered structured standards or maybe principles, even infrastructure even, to lay out these standards. Okay, and of course transportation sector is considered to be a very, very important tool for the development. Okay, for transportation from one part to another, for carrying the freights or maybe your goods through the cheapest means. Economic opportunities also is directly related to the mobility of the people. Also, how far the transportation, how far the goods is being transferred or maybe taken forward through the containers from one end to another end. Also, information technologies, ICT, information communication tools or maybe technological tools plays a vital role in the freight transportation. Okay, so there should be relation between the qualitative and quantitative aspects also. So if you have like high dense connected networks or maybe collaborated networks, then definitely you can expect high density infrastructure, and you will have more of the economic socio-economic benefits also. Okay, so maybe if the economic cost is maybe reduced, then definitely the quality of life will also be increased, and there will be much more higher opportunities for the youngsters, for the people, okay, to make up more in the logistics or maybe the transportation industry even. So efficient transportation is all about reducing the cost in these economic sectors. So inefficient transportation definitely will increase the cost. Okay, so you should have proper transportation means, and often in this scenario, if you don't have the proper layout or maybe structure, I mean infrastructure for this one, definitely congestion problem will occur. So there will be like fight between two parties. The agreements will not be laid properly. Okay, there will not be proper communication between two ends, and definitely this will directly and indirectly put a debt into the users who are consuming. Okay, right. So as I told you in the last class about definitions, the agreement we are making from the sender, consignment, okay, consignor and consignee, okay, so both ends it will be laying a debt. If proper information communication technologies is not laid, no infrastructure is laid, definitely it will create congestion problems even. So congestion is also a very much driving factor for this growing economy. So both the capacity as well as infrastructure will have problem if it is not laid down properly. Okay, so transportation will be having both the social as well as economic aspects. So that is going to drive the word called as development. Right. So these are the factors behind the development of transportation systems. We have local, like we have like hydrography, geomorphology, okay, and then we'll have like technological. We have roads. Political, we have like zoning. Okay, only these zones or maybe these areas, roads should be there. This places houses should be there. This places industrial part should be there. Okay, and economic, it is employment and then distribution. Okay, like climate, we have a urban system, maybe like railways, canals will be there, and taxation will be like environmental taxes. For the buildings, we have taxes. Okay, and modal competition will be there, and complementarity will also be there. Okay, for national and then international standards. Okay, so we'll have the corridors, sea routes also. So maybe even in our country, maybe up to certain region, you can go via boat. You can do the fishing. Maybe if you go apart, then the other country people, they will catch us. They will put in the jail. So maybe we have to pay a ransom amount of money to get the fishermen or maybe the people from their country. Okay. So trade agreements, market policies, everything has been laid out. And then oceanic masses. Okay, like it is globalized. Maybe if you take in the case of air transport, it has a air route. And there are telecommunication facilities that are associated. And we have, according to the World Trade Organization, we have multilateral agreements even. Okay, and we have comparative advantages even with the economic point of view. So here are the services. We have transportation service, we have water supply, we have water disposal, we have irrigation, we have garbage disposal also. Okay, that also has to be taken care of. Telecommunications, for everything has to have a infrastructure. So in this class we are actually deciding or maybe discussing about the infrastructure, the standards that has to be laid out. For example, if you take in the case of transportation, the roads. Every road, for example, has a desired layout. Okay. And for example, if you have a national highway, you should follow the rules. You should have the regulations. Okay. The bridges, tunnels, railway tracks, airports, everything. Okay. Water supply you can take in the case of dams, reservoirs, pipelines. Okay. Maybe like for example, in our country, once again I will tell you, like there is a river. Okay. Like we have like Ganga River, Kaveri River. Okay. So from one part, okay, maybe the other part of the city is not getting the water. From them, they have to get it. Okay. So there will be a fight between two cities. Okay. But naturally, rain will help us. Okay. The dams will overflow. So they have no other choice but water will flow across the city. So they will be getting the water. So everything has a structure, has a layout. Okay. And then we will have irrigation also, same like dams, reservoirs, canals even. Garbage disposal, we have some compost units even, landfills, incinerators. Okay. Telecommunications will have like cables, underground cable we will have, over the top also we'll have. Okay. Telephone lines, oceanic cables also we have. Okay. And then cellular tasks, we have several network operators. And for power, we have distribution lines, energy grid, we have power distribution systems we will be having. Okay. So these are the economic impacts. So with the case of modal, intermodal, according to the capacity, according to the cost, okay, reliability, based on the location, we are actually identifying these standards, this transportation infrastructure, and maybe if it is accessible for the local, for the regional, for the global, in the geographical area, we will be identifying how far the reliability. Okay. So merely you cannot say okay it is reliable, it is cost efficient, or maybe it is operational. You cannot say. You should have the characteristics even in the project also that you will do. Okay, in the final year. Okay, so you should measure the characteristics. Okay, maybe with respect to time, what how your infrastructure is performing well. Okay, even the geographical area, whether it is confined to one particular location, whether it is local or regional or national. So every such parameters, capacity, cost, time, reliability, accessibility, location, plays a vital role in the economic impacts of this transportation. Okay, so this we have observed like from 1990 to 2018. So this is the evaluation for different modes of transport. So across 1990, everybody were using trucking, and maybe they went for warehousing, like they used transportation even. Support activities were there. Couriers were there to transport goods. Okay, air transport was also there. If you can see, like 2018, trucking was used more and followed by warehousing, and the remaining followed next. Okay, so across the years, we were experiencing this employment in the transportation in specifically in United States. Okay. So these are the categorization of transport. So based on the geographical locations that we are situated, based on these physical characteristics, we are going to identify it as core, operational, geographical. Okay, so this is the thing that we will be having. So core means we are identifying the most important values, okay, or maybe the heart of the values. Okay, so related to transport, we are going to convey the passengers and the goods, its associated costs, so that wherever we are, we can be able to track its performance. So that is the core part. Okay, so for example, as I told you, wheels I have, as I told you, from one part to another part, we can be able to track where the truck is, or maybe where this vehicle is. You can track and you can decide accordingly. Okay, for example, the vehicle is stopping for some point of time, you can actually track and you can maybe alert, okay, this there is an unwanted delay here, why, you can go for tracking the entire thing, and it is an international app, you can go for this one. Okay, and you can also have setting of routes also, will have like new interactions, even existing interactions, even we can actually develop from this core strategy. Okay, and then you'll have operational. Operational means it is related to time. So based on the time, how it is going to perform. So reliable, how far it is reliable, whether it is having any damage, whether there are any losses which are there. Okay, so by a single word called as operational, we define many things. Okay, so you have to utilize these transportation to the maximum means, and of course how it is benefiting the passengers, that also you should check. Okay, and whether there is any delay that is associated, that you can check with this parameter, it is operational. And then geographical, so maybe some modes of freight, maybe it will be located in a very like a village area. Okay, so in this case you have to take forward the geographical conditions also. If there is too much of rain, if there is too much of snow, if it is hot, okay, no problem. Maybe if there is climatic changes, so you should take care. You shouldn't be saying, I sent in this time, it should reach in this time. How, it is not possible. Okay, so you should take forward the climatic conditions also. So you have to if you really wanted to expand your market, then you should take forward the geographical conditions also. For example, you take in the case of Himalayas, okay, there also freight transportation is taking place. Okay, provided you have a delay that is associated. Okay, right. So the scale in production, distribution and consumption also can be improved by interconnecting or maybe collaborated networks. Okay, uh, you can also increase the productivity by more diverse inputs, maybe like raw materials, energy, labor. Okay, or maybe intermediate goods, or maybe completed finished goods also you can have. Okay, oh, let me tell you one example. Okay, with the case of geographical. Okay, there is one place in India. Okay, I was trying to send a courier. They said, okay, this place I marked clearly. Okay, from my place, I was trying to send a courier to one particular place, XYZ in India. I sent after 20 days, the courier once again returned back to me. They said, for this location, you cannot send courier. It was a big parcel, and they said you can only send by post, and it will reach maybe like 30 or maybe 35 days it will take, and it will definitely reach. Okay, so I cannot rely completely on the courier, because the post had some collaborated or connected networks, and through this one they are able to achieve, okay, or maybe broaden the market. Okay, so that is how we are increasing the sales, increasing the productivity, and collaborating and connecting with the networks. Okay, right. So there has been economic importance as well. Like we have like macroeconomic importance, microeconomic also. For example, at the macroeconomic level, we are considering the country as a whole. Okay, so maybe the mobility, the employment, the income, okay, that arises out of the GDP of this country. So that is macroeconomic level. Okay, So microeconomic means within the region that you will specify. Okay. So in many developed economies, maybe like China or maybe US, transportation accounts between 6% to 12% of the GDP. Transportation plays a vital role in the GDP. Okay. So maybe in the future, logistics will definitely play a vital role. Maybe it will go up to 25% of the GDP also if it is utilized properly with the layered infrastructure. Okay, so infrastructure vehicle will definitely account for half the GDP for the advanced economy. So it will rather it is predicted to reach by 50% of the advanced economy even. So in the microeconomic level, maybe you can go with the manufacture of small level products and you can transport like maybe producer, consumer, the relationship, and of course the distribution cost also. So that will have a microeconomic, small economic levels. Okay. So that will definitely help the people, the locals in staying in that region to get some jobs. Okay. So that definitely will help. Okay. So higher income levels are associated with the transportation and it is also based on the reduction in the extra charges that is consumed. Okay. So transportation it is between 10% and 15% of the household expenditures. Yes. You belong here, no problem. You have no transportation. Okay. Okay. So maybe if you are sending up a consignment, if you are regularly involved in business, so transportation plays a vital role. Okay. In the developed parts of this country. Okay. In comparison, you can account for 4% of the cost for each output that is being manufactured. So everything that has to be manufactured has to be packaged, has to be marketed, has to be distributed. So that some part is there. You cannot completely neglect that part. Okay, but definitely across like different sectors, it will vary, but not much. But maybe 4% will be 6%, not much. Okay. So these are the basic location factors. You will have the socio-economic environment, okay, what you call to be macro, okay, and you have accessibility. We have meso, which is regional, and site. Once again, it's a micro, okay. So socio-economic level, we'll have the global expansion. So you have to consider the capitals, the various taxation, regulation, policies. What are the ICT, information communication technologies that are available? Everything you are going to take on a very large scale. Okay. And then accessibility, how far it is accessible, how far it is reached to the markets, to the suppliers, by the suppliers, to the consumers. Raw materials, how far it is available at ease, okay, nearby, okay. Labor who are involved in the entire process, how far they are accessible. Okay, so this for the regional level you can go for, and you can go on a national expansion. And then you have site, that is nothing but the place or maybe the transportation that you use. Okay, so transportation, the land, the medium that you use, utilities, okay, the small level tools, okay, and amenities even for the local expansion. So local, national, international. So this is the share of the transport cost in product, which are in prices, and the average domestic haul length also. So we have several factors like apparel, electronics, leather products, textiles. Okay, so here we have transport equipment. Okay, we have paper products, furniture, wood, petroleum, okay, food, primary metals, fabricated metals, printing and publishing, instruments, okay, even tobacco also for the production of the consumable goods. Okay, so this is the average haul length versus the share of the transport cost. Okay, so over like transportation cost in prices, okay, it is actually expressed in uh, millions of dollars. Okay, so 0, 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so the rate is going to have a decrease. Okay, so share of the transportation cost, definitely it will be consuming like 4 to 6% as I told you in the overall cost. So these are the socio-economic benefits of transportation. For the freight and for the passengers, we have the direct indirect and induced level. Okay, so we have multipliers and opportunities. Okay, we have the accessibility and the economic of scale, and we have the capacity and efficiency also. So we have like users where they have to spend their time, and they should go for cost savings also. The income they have to get from the transport operations, and indirect ways through the employers, through the rent. For example, if they are allowing one particular area for the operations, through the rent the income comes. Okay, or maybe through the labor they can cut down the cost and they can get something out of it. Okay, so that also will there. And then maybe for the users, if they are providing the users, some extra charges can be levied upon for the indirect means. And then induce level to the society, they have to improve the information technology services. So they have to be mobile, they have to be available at their service, and of course they have to increase the social opportunities. Okay, with regards to freight, we have like operators. Okay, once again time and cost savings, income from the transport operations, and from the customers we are having like rent income, the added gains, and of course the suppliers and markets also. With the case of economy, we are going to increase the competitiveness, and of course we are going to have more distribution networks as well, so that it will reach the public at ease. Okay. So this is the transport infrastructure investment and the maintenance spending as share of GDP. If you can see, you can compare the new boss, China. Okay, so we are having much more greater than the United States over here. This is United States. So they have invested in the transport infrastructure, and they have maintained also. GDP is also much higher than the US. So it is a right thing that you should invest on the transport infrastructure, and that will play a vital role in the GDP of the country. So if this national GDP is going to increase, your currency will definitely increase, and definitely you can play a vital role in the share market.